Good afternoon, NCECA. I bring you greetings from Tarrant County College South Campus in Fort Worth, Texas. I am honored to share my ongoing research on the legacy of the Wilson Potters of Capote, Texas. The initial faculty development leave proposal was to research the enslaved potters of the H. Wilson and Company pottery business. But research indicated that the legacy was connected to two other pottery companies. The presentation is divided into the discovery, the journey, and the work. The rendering identifies many potters who worked at one or all three Wilson pottery sites. There are only 4 likenesses from actual photographs. They are John McCamey Wilson, the owner of the Guadalupe Pottery, James and Hiram Wilson, owners of H. Wilson and Company, and George Suttles, owner of the Lavernia Pottery in Lavernia, Texas. The other hollowed-eyed images are based on biographical information. The search for the images is ongoing. The discovery. In the early 1990s, I learned of John McCamey Wilson's enslaved potters through a casual conversation with the ceramics instructor John Miller at Texas Woman's University in Denton, Texas. In 2013, I learned the legacy of John McCamey Wilson's enslaved potters. They were Hiram, James, Wallace, Andrew, and George. In 2015, I introduced the Potters to the Tarrant County College South Campus community in Fort Worth, Texas. In the summer of 2015, I visited the site of the Capote Church and Cemetery. In fall of 2017, I visited the annual Wilson Pottery Show in Seguin, Texas. In fall 2018, I was invited to the Texas State University Center for Archaeological Studies and was given the opportunity to make clay impressions of shards from the Wilson's third site. In the fall of 2018, I collected interviews at the annual Wilson's Pottery Show in Seguin, Texas. In December of 2018, the William J. Hill Artisan and Artist Archive invited me to the Kitty King Powell Library at Bayou Bend Gardens in Houston, Texas. I just happened to be there when this piece was being returned from an exhibition. In the spring of 2019, I assisted the William J. Hill staff in documenting the Wilson Pottery Foundation's collection. At the annual Wilson Pottery Show in fall 2019, I offered throwing photo opportunities for the guests. Let's take a look at what I have documented to date. Around 1857, John McCamey Wilson Jr. opened the Guadalupe pottery business in Capote, Texas. Capote, Texas is 12 miles east of Seguin, Texas. Around 1869, John McCamey Wilson sold his interest in the Guadalupe Pottery Company to M. J. Durham. Around 1869, emancipated slave potters from the Guadalupe pottery business established the H. Wilson and Company pottery business under the leadership of Hiram Wilson. It is believed to be the first African American business in the state of Texas. In 1884, H. Wilson and Company merged with the Durham Chandler pottery business after Hiram's death, creating the Durham Chandler Wilson Pottery Company. It closed in 1903 after the Salt Creek flood destroyed the equipment. The rediscovery dates for the Wilson pottery sites are unclear, but a network of antique dealers and collectors all point to the same source, Dr. Georgiana H. Greer, the author of American Stoneware, The Art and Craft of Utilitarian Potters. The artwork for my faculty development leave was based on my interpretation of contemporary appropriation. Contemporary appropriation is the use of pre-existing works of art to create a new work to inspire new audiences. This concept is often used in the music and movie industry. The form of interest is the fluid vessel. The contemporary surfaces were class glazes. We use 8 glazes that yield 64 plus combinations. In spring 2019, I asked members of our Fine Arts Department to participate in my Faculty Development Leave project to be presented spring 2020. Here's a glimpse of what occurred in February of 2020. Director of Theater Melinda Benton Mueller responded with an original performance that captured the essence of a respected black businessman in the late 1800s. This was a photo opportunity with students in character in the gallery during the exhibition. Hiram Wilson of the H. Wilson and Company pottery business, played by actor Corey Kamen, poses near artwork and photographs of original pottery. Images are courtesy of the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston, Texas. Director of Dance Kiara Amison responded by choreographing a dance performance based on the H. Wilson pottery legacy. This was an interactive performance with dance students and the pottery created for the exhibition. Interior design class, directed by Miss Mildred Harris, designed a reception area that gave guests a glimpse of the exhibition before they entered the gallery. The research continues as I search for details about potters at all three sites. Thank you.